This is not the internet. This is the Metaverse. Hello pioneers. This week I thought we'd take a look at the value of pi, and then we'll continue on. We'll take a look at the announcements from PCM, and I'll finish off the video with so look at some of the other mining apps out there, since some of them are coming online. So with the value of pi, traditionally, we use things like market cap and all that to determine the value. Right? If you look at here, a token called FEG, we have a value, circulating supply, a total supply, and this gives us our market cap, right? And a fully diluted valuation. If we have a look at something like XRP, where we have our value, we have total supply, but the circulating supply is much less because XRP has a lockup in escrow of some of their coins. Right? So therefore we get a market cap of with the circulating supply, and fully diluted by valuation is different. So if you look at pi, right, obviously this is the IOU price, so we'll just take that down to 0 for time being. There's nothing populated in this, right? But we know we can put the 100 billion coins in total supply, and currently, according to the mainnet metrics, circulating supply is 2.6 billion. Right, so now we can determine, if we put $1 in, we can determine a market cap of 2.6 billion and fully diluted valuation of 100 billion. Right, so this just gives us a rough idea. If we start increasing this price, we can see the values obviously start to change. This still is starting to get up quite high, right? And this is where high prices are sort of not ideal, because you can see that with the market cap, it starts to get a bit ridiculous. If we get up to $314, right, you can see the market cap is 816 billion, which is the 31 trillion fully diluted valuation. Right, so these numbers are quite big. You can see here though that the all-time high of the IOU was $307. So this $314 is actually achievable according to what people are willing to pay. If we go even further, me myself, I like to think that my pi is worth at least $1,000. And again, so the numbers are really getting up really big as far as market cap. All right, and to put it in perspective, the world GDP is $96 trillion, and the current circulating supply of money is 37 trillion. When we start to get up to this GCV price, that's when things start to get quite crazy as far as market cap goes. But what I'm trying to determine here is that I think the valuation of pi is going to be determined by other factors. Looking here, using our 2.6 billion pi, we got 4 million wallets currently. Right, so when we do a calculation on that, we've only got 650 pi per pioneer, right? And what I'm trying to show here is that scarcity is going to be playing a big part in this. Current mining rate here, we do that by our 6.3 pi monthly. We're only getting 75 pi yearly, right? Now, this is a very low amount of pi, right? So we're getting getting into the scarcity again. With 65 billion pi available to us, right? Divide that by the 47 million people that are currently mining. Right, this is only 1,383 pi per pioneer that can be achievable, to be mined. right? So we're introducing this scarcity again. Right? Now, this is my yearly payout for last year. Now, I earned 4,370 pi last year, right? So you can see this is really, if I'm getting this much pi, other people are missing out if there's only 1,300 pi available per pioneer. And if you look at some of these other numbers for some other people, they're earning a hell of a lot more than I am. And this is really, really reducing the pi down per pioneer, especially for the new people that are joining the network. Alright, so this 1383 pi per pioneer, right, is really just an average. Obviously it's an average. And, the new guys, gee, what are we talking? 50, 100 pi that they could possibly mine? Right? So if we go further and we do the 65 billion by the world population, which is 8.1 billion, right? Now we're only talking 8 pi per pioneer, right? So you can see the scarcity of pi that's available per person is really, really going to be driving our valuation. Right? And this is why I think we have so many decimal points as well. Right? Because you can imagine by 2030, people were going to be earning pi at this really, really low rate of pi. Now, this goes into universal basic income, and this is where I think this is going to be determining the valuation a lot better. Right? Now, if we take, say, $2,000 as a rough indication of the UBI per month, right? We divide that by our current 6.3 pi per month, right? Then we can get a valuation of nearly $320, right? Now, this is very speculative, obviously, but I think this is where the valuation of pi and the value of pi is really going to be determined more, not so much by market cap, right? And we reduce this amount of pi that you get per month divided by into the $2,000, well, you can see that the valuation of pi could really, really start to ramp up, right? So I think this UBI idea, obviously it's something that I think is possible that pi is going to be used for. We really, really can get a high price valuation on pi. And of course we all want that, don't we? Now the only caveat too is that, for scarcity, we have the 65 billion, but the core team, they actually had 35 billion available to themselves as well, and there's a lot less of them, so this has got to factor into our circulating supply. So let's take a look at the PCM announcements. Now, in this video, I had fully intended on covering PCM anyway because, for quite a while now, Edwin's been out there, teasing that something huge is coming to PCM. We didn't know what it was. And for us in the Temple Telegram group, he's been teasing us about this since the 8th of December, so it's been quite a while. And so I was going to go through and try and determine what possibly could be coming, right? That was until Edwin hit me up about 2 or 3 days ago and asked me to be a PCM community ambassador, right? And when he did this, he actually told me what the actual huge news was, which was this PCM wallet. And so he gave me the preview video that was in private mode to take a look at a couple of hours before it was released. So this was all very exciting. So I had to change my strategy for this video. And here it is. This is the PCM wallet that was released. All right, and looks really nice, and it's got a lot of nice features in here. If you go to the Pi browser and enter PCMWallet.com, it won't actually work because it's not on mainnet yet. But if you go to a normal browser, then you can access it. right? So to start with, you get these starting pages, then you get a login screen, you can sign up, right? Just fill in your details, obviously, and then you can log in, right? And here we are. Now the earn, migration and mining functions aren't available at the moment. So this is all going to be coming, and this is all Q1 of 2024 that this is all going to start up. But we can take a look at the settings here, and inside you've got merge accounts, which is where you can merge your PCM and PyNFT.art accounts, right? So they will all be managed in one central spot. You can set your available balance. This is where you can limit the amount of withdrawal and all that. It's just a little safety procedure, right? So you can set that. Account security, right? You can set up Face ID and fingerprints, right? So if you go to the main login page, you've got other methods that you can log in with, and that's where you can do the Face ID and Touch ID. So if we look a bit more into this, we've got, if you click on the send receive button down the bottom, right, then you come into the main wallet area here. Right, so it's got QR codes and all that, and right, if you up the top we can select the test, right, and get drop down menu for selected mainnet. It's not active at the moment, obviously, because they're not on mainnet. Then they've got the PCM token wallet here, right? You click on that, right? You've actually got two separate wallets here. So there's a PCM token and the mainnet Pi wallet. Right? These are two separate wallets, and I can't say anything now, but later on in Q1 you'll find out why the reason behind this is. And you scroll down, then you've got all the quick links to all the PCM economy. There's a Medium article out. Right, I've got the link in the description. Right, if you want to have a read of it, it's got all the details of all the things, the mining function and all that sort of thing, where you can earn PCM tokens by logging in every day. And so reading through it, the couple of things I took away from it was how that there's going to be an iOS and Android app, right? So you won't even have to go through the browser; it'll be an actual app, right? And then they're going to be announcing soon the actual PCM tokens on mainnet, right? Which is that's something we really need to take notice of. Also, Edward shared with me early the roadmap for 2024 Q1, right? There's a lot of different things in here. There's a lot of things going on, all very, very exciting, right? And these are the things that I was most interested in. And the PCM token contract deployment on mainnet is really interesting because we don't have that functionality yet, right? So this is something that I've been saying that's going to be released on Pi, right? But isn't currently available. Now, on Stellar, this is a very easy procedure, right? But the one thing that we don't have on Pi is the equivalent of the Stellar Labs, which you need to actually create tokens. So I'm making an assumption here that Pi Network is going to be releasing a similar lab so that we can mint our own tokens in Q1. So that's very exciting. Now, this is the one that really caught my eye, though, was PCM listing on exchanges, right? And because what does this mean? Does this mean that the token on mainnet can be released on exchanges and all that? So I asked Edward about this, and for him, he was actually surprised I caught up on that, because he realised that he actually made a mistake putting this on here. And if you look here into the wallet address starts with 0x, right? Now, unfortunately, I can't share with you what Edwin told me about this, but it's very, very interesting, and it's going to be done in Q1, right? So you're just going to have to wait and see for that, right? But that was something that definitely caught my eye. So that's really it for the wallet. It's all very exciting, very nice. Team's done a great job, and go over it, sign up, give it a bit of a use and all that, and all the functionality is going to be releasing very, very quickly, right? So we just got to wait for the announcements from the PCM team and Edwin, the CEO. So the last thing I want to cover is some of the mining apps that are out there. Obviously, my main ones, obviously Pi is my number one. We have B, Star and Ice. These are the four main ones that I've been mining. And mostly because I'm on iOS, so not every mining app's available on the Apple ecosystem. Now, Pi is a guaranteed cert for me, right? There's so much things through pop culture and, who I think all the founders are and the connections to Stanford and all that. Pi is a guarantee, right? And some of these other mining apps have always been a bit, up and down. But, with the coming of Ice, coming real and, minting tokens this week, I've always been thinking about, well, how would this all play out, right? Because we've got the UBI, right? So I always know that Pi is going to do that, but obviously these other ones are a great way of doing it too. And it's got me thinking that, there's this movie called Divergent, right? And in Divergent, it's a futuristic movie, and they have separate societies, right? And you get to choose which society you go into, right? So this got me thinking that, maybe, in the, by 2030 or whenever, we've got smart cities and all this type of thing, possibly, that each one of these might actually end up being a different society under global citizenship, right? So that's just something that's always in the back of my mind of, where this all ends up and how all these mining apps are going to actually be. Right, so if we take a look at the Ice one, right, this is the main reason I wanted to sort of bring up something other than Pi, is because they've passed their audit and, and they're going to be listed on OKX, right? So they're going to be minting all the tokens. And the tokens are actually going to be starting minting today, and Friday, I think it is, Friday is going to be the listing on OKX, and it's also going to be available on Uniswap. Right, so this is another mining app that's actually coming to fruition. Right, so this is really, really cool. You can see they've already released their contract address. Right, I've got that in my MetaMask all nice and ready for my airdrop, and you can look at it on BSC scan. Right, so that's very exciting this week for Ice. And if you've seen my Telegram channel too, I've also been doing the SocialFi platform called Engage, and they're also minting tokens later on today as well, right, on Ethereum and Solana, right? So this is all a lot of Web3 technologies that's really, really starting to come on board now, and this sort of goes along with the Bitcoin ETF and all that, and mass adoption of blockchain, right? So so I just wanted to do a quick little wrap up of that, because Ice is coming online, and we've got all these other mining apps, and we don't know what this could end up being, but like I always say, I always try to mine these things just in case. Doesn't it takes in nothing of my time. I just got to push a button every day. It's really a piece of cake. I'll just drop my codes here, so if you're ever interested, you want to sign up for these things, like I said, just in case, it's well worth getting on here. Push the button once a day, what harm can it be, and in the end, free money, isn't it? So, if all these come in, or Pi itself only becomes a universal basic income, I think this is pretty well a guaranteed thing that, something's going to happen in this space. It's better to get in early, right? So that's it for the video. A lot of good things. I hope you sort of get the feel of what I think about pi value and all that, you know, and it's a bit harder to know. We won't know until it actually becomes real. You know, and we've had the exciting announcements from PCM, and you know, they're minting tokens as well, you know, so I think we're going to see a lot of progression this year in that side of things. There's the possibility of getting open mainnet this year, you know, from the PiCore team. So 2024 is really shaping up to be something to really look forward to. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you later.